child-free, how do you honestly know if it's your path? Is it egoistic or selfish?
Meaning, if you do not have a child in your life, if you choose not to have that children in the family, is it egotistical? Is it selfish? Well,
what do you think?
I believe that there are plenty of people in this world that have lived without children that have been very selfless and serving of the greater good. It really depends on your own responsibility to yourself and to the world around you. What does that mean to be egotistical? Sometimes we need to take care of ourselves, but we also try to balance that with selfless service to others, to do good in the world in a way that helps the people around us to feel happier, healthier, safer, etc. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you choose not to have a child, you're automatically egoistic or egotistical and selfish. I think that I have an aunt who's a doctor, and she's an emergency room surgeon. She does not have kids, but she's one of the most selfless people that I have ever met or even studied, in the way that she spends all of her time trying to help others. So it's a good question. It's an interesting question, but I think it comes down to each individual's life path. What is the priority, and what is it mean for them to live with or without children in their lives and in their family?
Yeah, and the trend nowadays is, because it's now more widely accepted, I would say. Earlier it was judged by society, but because women start gaining economical power and education, and they can decide, it's more and more accepted. There is a study that in Europe, 20% of women choose to be childless, child-free, because of many reasons: personal, social, psychological, maybe medical, but those 20% were not medically constrained. It was their free will. Some have environmental reasons, because the world is overpopulated, philosophical reasons. There's so many. I personally I had a stage in my life where I thought I will not have children, and I don't want to have children because I wanted to be out there in the world, helping others, creating new things, and which shocked my family, of course. And from the part of the world where I come from, it's considered to be very selfish not to have children, because that means that you think only about yourself and you're not ready to contribute back to the society and your family. But I, as a mother now, believe that our children do not owe us anything, rather than maybe paying forward and giving that love that we invest in our children further. That's the only debt, I think, that they have. But I don't think it's selfish, no. But being a parent is a very selfless act, that's for sure. And this is where you learn so much that otherwise you will not. So I became mother quite late in my life, because first I wanted to be me, and I didn't feel I was selfish, and I had mostly philosophical and ethical ideas that the world is overpopulated. Why add to the planet's misery? That was my personal choice. And also, a lot of people do not find right partners. I have a lot of friends who don't have children. They're very kind, giving people. And I honestly think that if I would miss this experience of motherhood, I would be very sad by the end of my life, because this is the most beautiful, the most spiritual, the most fulfilling thing I ever experienced. And I could only recommend. But answering this question, no, I don't think it's selfish.
And I would echo what Dalia just said, is that I, for years, thought I would never have a family, because I was devoted to meditation and yoga and my spiritual path, and I thought somehow that a family and kids would get in the way. But I can honestly say that since I have joined a family with Dalia and her daughter, it's been the greatest teaching I've ever had about selflessness, about how not to be selfish, and how to sacrifice something that I want for the greater good of the family and for the child, for the daughter, Lisa. And I can honestly say that I can feel that after all those years of trying to focus on myself and evolve through meditation and yoga, they were all very beneficial. But the evolution is on steroids when you're in a family, because things are coming to your experience so quickly, so often throughout the day, throughout every week and month. It's just nonstop that you have to deal with your reflection that you see in your family and also your response to that reflection. So it's a beautiful teaching. And, you know, for those people that think that spirituality requires disconnection from family life and from social life, I have made the experiment both ways, and I can tell you from my own experience that it's a very profound path of awakening to love and selflessness. So I'm so grateful that I was able to have the experience I had with meditation, but I really find that the growth happens here when we are interacting with the people that we care about.
So happy to hear that.